here you need to think about knowledge that knowledge. So whether is it positivistic knowledge or phenomenological or whether it is critical, because everything is depending on data, right? Because when you ask the question, types of data needed for us to produce this kind of knowledge, which is very important, right? Now here, under types of data, always we go after, if you want to produce positivistic knowledge, we go after social facets. And then phenomenology, social interactions. And then critical data, then you need historical data, right, which is very important. So always we as researchers, we need to think about a type of knowledge that we are going to generate by conducting our research, and also at the same time what type of data that we need to produce this kind of knowledge. In other words, there is a close link between the knowledge that we generate and the methods that we employ. Right? So that is why sometimes when you say, okay, I'm going to do a research on this, I am going to employ this method and these are the techniques, then always people ask, why this and why not the other one? Right? So it's very important for us to say, right, my intention is to develop or produce this kind of knowledge. That is why I am using this, in order to show the relationship between methods, data and the outcome, which is very important. Right? Now at MPhil PhD level, normally, right, we always try to create, right, critical knowledge, I would say. Right? Sometimes we go for positivistic knowledge, right? But we also would like to go beyond that. Now, I am not against, positivistic knowledge, but you can decide what type of knowledge that you would like to generate depending on your questions. Questions or hypothesis. Alright? So that is the first point all of you need to keep in mind. And what is the second point? The second point is this. Now when you try to employ a particular method, always people ask type of study design that you are going to use. Because depending on the study design, right, or the study design will force us to collect different types of data. Now, for example, if you are going to employ a cross-sectional study design, right, you generate only one data set. But if you are going to employ before and after study design, then you are going to deal with two different data sets. Sometimes, you go for longitudinal study design. You keep on interviewing the same group for 5-6 years. So where you generate 5-6 data sets. Right? So this is also very important. Right? The type of knowledge and the study design that you are going to employ. Then another important point is, now for example, I will take one example, right, just to give you a kind of idea about, to show you the relationship between the problem that you have created, the methods that you have employed, and the analysis that you have adopted, and the outcomes. Right? Now, for example, I don't know whether you can read this. Now, I took this from my own research, which I did for my PhD. I have already given or listed the research process here. So it's a kind of operationalized process, right? So I have operationalized each and every step of the process in relation to my research problem, right? Then the reader knows why or what are the concepts that I have used, what are the methods, techniques, and what are the stages that I have already employed, right, or stages that I have followed to generate the outcome. Now, the first one is the problem, right? So you can't move forward without the research problem. Now, what is the problem? Here I have mentioned livelihoods of tsunami affected people under the impact of forced relocation. So that's the main problem, right? So I'm thinking of, as a result of forced relocation, they are going to be more vulnerable, right? They are going to be more vulnerable. So basically, exploring the concept of vulnerability, which the tsunami affected people, they were exposed to more sources of vulnerability as a result of forced relocation, right? Or in other words, livelihoods of tsunami affected people under the impact of forced relocation. Now this is the problem. Then deciding on the research focus. So always, when it comes to research, you need to deal with main concepts in social science research. So here I dealt with the concept of livelihoods and vulnerability. Right? The concept of livelihood and vulnerability. And then determining an area for empirical research, there I have selected this Akimana DS division, right? And selected few relocated settlements to employ my method in order to collect data. Now the question is, before that, we need to develop an analytical framework, because that is very important, because we can't move forward, right, without constructing an analytical framework, because it will tell us what are the exact information that we should collect in order to find answers to my research question. Those are very important, right? And then I have already listed the research questions, right? And the case study method, and I have already, now here you can see different types of methods and techniques that I employ to test different hypotheses that I have constructed, right? This is discussed under triangulation, right? Now what do you mean by triangulation? Triangulation means every method, every technique, every theory, every analysis technique that we employ has its own advantages as well as disadvantages, right? So we as researchers always try to minimize the disadvantages, and we make an attempt to increase the advantage, right? So this is what we discuss under triangulation. So when you read for your MPhil PhD, always MPhil PhD students, there is a tendency for them to use more than one data collecting tool, method, technique, more than one theory, more than one analysis technique. Alright? Because you want to increase the validity and reliability of your research. Right? That is very important. Right? So that is why, now here you can see empirical study in three relocation settlements far from the city of Gaul. Here I have used household surveys, in-depth interviews, various participatory assessments, simple observations, interview with host community, key informant interviews, secondary data collection. So mixture of, right, both primary and secondary data, which is important, right? So if someone asks, okay, what is the reason for you to use more than one data collecting tool and method you need to tell, I have different questions. I have already constructed different questions. So therefore, the questions have already forced me to collect different types of data. So I was not relying on one particular method. Right? That is the first answer. And also, I wanted to, employ this triangulation of method analysis. Right? Because I want to increase the advantages and decrease the disadvantage. That is another point. So at the end, when you present your data, always people ask questions with regard to your validity and reliability. Right? So the methodology part is very important. Why? If you are going to collect data based on empirical data, always people try to ask, okay, how you have collected the information? Whether we have already employed the right method, technique to collect that information, and also at the same time you also need to be careful because they will ask, is this the most appropriate method? That's the question. That's the question. So if they try to show that we have not employed the appropriate methods and techniques, then no point of talking about our conclusions. Conclusions are invalid, unreliable. Right? So that is why, at this level, right, you need to pay a lot of attention to your what? For your methodology section. Methodology section. Especially if you are going to rely on primary data. Primary data. That's important. So always people ask, as I mentioned you before you employ your questions. Right? And they will ask type of knowledge that you would like to generate. As I mentioned you before, because there is a link between the methods, the data, and also the knowledge that we produce. Right? And then also they will ask questions about the operationalization of our research process. That's very important. Because now, in the first slide I have clearly mentioned, I already stated the steps that we need to follow. That's clear. But you also need to show to your readers, look here, I had a very clear point in mind before I undertook this research. Right? I know what is scientific research. I know the steps that we need to follow in order to do my research. But at the same time, you also need to link it to your own research in order to show, look here, right? I have already gained the knowledge, but also now I am in a position to apply it in relation to my research. That's important. That's important. Right? If not, always we are just talking about theory without application. Alright? So when it comes to methods, it's very important for us to talk about knowledge, right? Operationalization of all your concepts, triangulation of methods, those are very important. Then, now